on the road again. I can wait to get on the road again. Well, I find love is making...
Welcome to Local is Lekker on radio today. Yes, this is the weekly 1 hour Local is Lekker that you listen to every Saturday afternoon between 1 and 2 p.m. Before we get to some music, I want to tell you about today's guest. As you know, I try and bring you interviews every week. We've had JJ Stevens and we've had Steve Ashley. This week will be no different. We have the renowned singer, songwriter and author Tony Ridgway from all the way from Melkbosstrand in Cape Town. Tony, of course, is the lead vocalist for one of the best country groups in South Africa, Rocking Horse. But before we get to that, I'm going to bring you some Sandy Lee. Sandy's a young lady who spent 14 years in Nashville. She's a South African, and she's just been invited to go back to Nashville to go and perform at a few venues, including the world-famous Tootsie's in Nashville. Let's give a listen to some Sandy Lee numbers.
Down to a promise, said say a prayer for me. She threw her arms around him, whispered God will keep us free. They could hear the riders coming. He said this is my last time. They take me back to Texas, they won't take me back for life. There were 7 Spanish angels at the altar of the sun. They were praying for the lovers in the valley of the gun. When the battle stopped and the smoke cleared, there was thunder from the throne. And 7 Spanish angels took another angel home. She reached down and picked the gun up that lay smoking in his hand. She said, Father, please forgive me, I can't live without my man. And she knew the gun was empty, and she knew she couldn't win. Her final prayer was answered when the rifles fired again. There were 7 Spanish angels at the altar of the sun. They were praying for the lovers in the valley of the gun. When the battle stopped and the smoke cleared, there was thunder from the throne. And 7 Spanish angels took another angel home. There were 7 Spanish angels at the altar of the sun. They were praying for the lovers in the valley of the gun. When the battle stopped and the smoke cleared, there was thunder from the throne. And 7 Spanish angels took another angel home. There were 7 Spanish angels at the altar of the sun. They were praying for the lovers in the valley of the gun. When the battle stopped and the smoke cleared, there was thunder from the throne. And 7 Spanish angels took another angel home. The seven Spanish angels took another angel home. Well, I'm one but wiser than I was a minute ago. I found an equalizer that makes his memory no show. And I won't be Jonesing for his loving anymore. 'Cause I'm one but wiser than I was a minute ago. I dropped a quarter, played golden ring on the jukebox, placed my order with the guy behind the bar. And when he handed me a cold one, I said, keep the change, darling. And as I drank it down, I felt the healing start. 'Cause I'm one but wiser than I was a minute ago. I found an equalizer that makes his memory a no-show. And I won't be Jonesing for his loving anymore. 'Cause I'm one but wiser than I was a minute ago. When he left, he took my brand new Silverado. I started humming and I finally hitched a ride. I just came in here to drink a beer and watch the rednecks fight. Now I won't feel bad about going home alone tonight. 'Cause I'm one but wiser than I was a minute ago. I found an equalizer that makes his memory a no-show. And I won't be Jonesing for his loving anymore. 'Cause I'm one but wiser than I was a minute ago. For his loving anymore. 'Cause I'm one but wiser than I was a minute ago. One but wiser. Night I leave the ballroom when it's over, not feeling any pain at closing time. But tonight your memory found me much too sober. Couldn't drink enough to keep you off my mind. Let me down and let your memories come around. The one true friend I thought I'd found. Tonight the bottle let me down. been turning every day, but the wine don't take effect the way it used to, and I'm hurting in an old familiar way. Tonight the bottom let me down, and let your memories come around. The one true friend I thought I'd found. Tonight the bottle let me down. Tonight the bottle let me down.
We heard Sandy Lee with 7 Spanish Angels, One Bud Wiser. Tonight the bottle let me down, and we'll give it one more number. How about Today I Started Loving You Again?
Today I started loving you again, and I'm right back to where I've really always been. I got over you just long enough to let my heart aches mend, and then today I started loving you again. What a fool I was to think I could get by with only these few million tears I've cried. I should have known the worst was yet to come, and crying time for me has just begun. And then today I started loving you again, and I'm right back to where I've really always been. I got over you just long enough to let my heart aches mend, and then today I started loving you again.
Hi, this is Tony Ridgway. You're listening to Edwin on Local is Lekker. Enjoy.
We can trade a lick or three, that West Virginia boy and me.
Thank you very much, Tony. I think it's time for us to introduce you to the Radio Today listeners. Hi, Tony. Welcome to Local is Lekker.
Thank you kindly, Edwin, and thanks so much for inviting me. I really appreciate it.
You're most welcome, Tony. How about giving the listeners an insight into the life of Tony Ridgway, the man behind the songs and the novels?
Well, I'm a born and bred Cape Townian, now in my 50s. I've been in the music industry most of my life, as you know. My childhood obsessions were music and books, and they still are. I was a poetry major at university. I studied languages. I had a book of poetry published in the early 80s and was set to become a writer, but ended up a songwriter instead. I still write stories, poems, and I'm working on 3 novels simultaneously while I bread and butter as a songwriter and producer. I had a book of short stories published in 2008, and I'm currently waiting on my publisher to bring out a new volume of poetry called My Right Hand, which was planned to be out this year, but I assume it will only be out next year now, such as it is in the publishing world. I aim to do a lot less production work next year, as I plan to finish one of my novels and possibly one of the books I've half written on the music industry, which I both love and hate. I'm sure you'll understand why I say that.
I'm just a songwriter, pity me. I keep sitting around and waiting for my royalty. I got no bread to butter, there's a hole in my gutter. I'm just a songwriter, pity me. When I was single, I didn't need no jingle to pay the car bond and medical aid. But since I got wedded, my mind's been embedded, writing checks for bills that never get paid. And I'm just a songwriter, pity me. I'm like a real good hook looking for a melody. I'm kinda flat suspended, I wanna fade and end it. I'm just a songwriter, pity me. When I was younger, I still had the hunger to strive for the top of the chart. But since I got wise and missed the grand prize, I've turned formulas into art. And I'm just a songwriter, pity me. I keep sitting around waiting on my royalty. I got no bread to butter, and there's a hole in my gutter. I'm just a songwriter, pity me, pity me. Verse, chorus, verse. A bridge may be better, but it may be worse. Don't get too clever, use a plain old 7. Leave out the 9s and the 11s, otherwise it won't get good. And I'm just a songwriter, pity me. I keep sitting around waiting on my royalty. I got no bread to butter, and there's a hole in my gutter. I'm just a songwriter, pity me. I'm just a poor songwriter, pity me.
No, Tony, you're wrong. You're a lot more than a songwriter. Rocking Horse, you've been associated with them right from the start. What have they been doing in the past few years, and what's happening with them now in the future? I'm sure that listeners would also like to know.
Well, Rocking Horse was a band started by my brother Clive and I in December 1985. So we are exactly 30 years old as a band next month. Other founder member is Barry Buray, who is also still with us, and we eagerly await the release of our just finished All Original Songs album, which you've just finished recording, as is currently, as we speak, being mastered. Realistically, it will now only be released officially in the new year, and I cannot even give you a title of the album yet. That's still up in the air. Rocking Horse, the name, came from the fact that we were always a little too rock and roll to be classified as purely country, and too country to be classified as solely a rock band. So we were basically a country rock band, and hence we called ourselves Rocking Horse. The rocking part obviously reference to rock and roll, or rock, and the horse obviously symbolic of cowboys or country music. Apart from our first solo gigs, Rocking Horse first came to the fore on the country scene in South Africa as we were hired to do a gig at the Old Cape show with Gene Rockwell, your old buddy Edwin. The week-long show was such a success, we ended up doing a national tour with Gene, which then brought us to the attention of other country stars, and we ended up performing as a backing band for many of them over the years. All of Lance James, Bobby Angel, Sally Vaughan, Barbara Ray, Clive Bruce, Tommy Dell, Nat Herter, Joanna Field, etc., etc., did we tour with at various places and act as their live backing band. You must remember there was no such thing as singers using backing tracks in those days, so we were quite sought after, and that is how we kind of paid our dues in the country genre. We ended up working almost exclusively for a number of years with Ken Mullen and Jody Wayne, lots of the time with Tommy Dell as well, and toured extensively with them. We did all the big venues in South Africa. We'd open the show, then we'd be a backing band for the rest of the show for Ken, Jody and Tom. That led to us getting our first record deal, actually through Ken Mullen, who was at Transistor Music, owned by the infamous Chris Kritzinger, Auckland Park. Ken was instrumental in getting us signed to the label, and we brought out our first album, Someone Loves You, in 1988. The rest, as they say, is history. Well, as we were not only a backing band, but songwriters too, and the country guys mostly sang covers then, they all started asking Clive and I to write songs for them. So that's when the career as songwriter to the stars began. I've been doing it ever since. I reckon I must be getting pretty close to 1,000 songs out in the market now. I've actually lost count quite a while ago.
Well, let's not delay it. Let the listeners hear what Rocking Horse sounds like, with, of course, Tony Ridgway on vocals. Let's listen to Margarita.
I met her in a bar in New Mexico, across the street from my bungalow. I was just in town for a day or two. She couldn't speak English and I couldn't speak Spanish. It didn't matter, somehow we'd manage. She showed me her style and I showed her my brand new tattoo. Margarita, te quiero. Before I met you, I was a zero. Now I am one with the stars in the Mexican sky. Margarita, angel from heaven, soft my glass and squeeze my lemon. When the day's done, I will sing you a sweet lullaby. 2 hours later, we rode on my scooter, the Sony Walkman and a tape of Rockuda. I felt like an eagle on a wing, soaring above. She made me so happy, she made me so high. I barely noticed the time rushing by. All that I knew was, Senor, you're falling in love. Margarita, te quiero. Before I met you, I was a zero. Now I am one with the stars in the Mexican sky. Margarita, angel from heaven, soft my glass and squeeze my lemon. When the day's done, I will sing you a sweet lullaby. Buenas noches, now I speak a little. Sorry for being so non-committal, but Let me just say that things have worked out for the best. She helps me to bed every Saturday evening. I help you and you get my meaning. That's all the need that I have to get off my chest. Margarita, te quiero. Before I met you, I was a zero. Now I am one with the stars in the Mexican sky. Margarita, angel from heaven, sucked my glass and squeezed my lemon. When the day is done, I will sing you a sweet lullaby. When the day is done, I will sing you a sweet lullaby. Now day is done, let me sing you a sweet lullaby.
Danny, I played Sandy Lee in the first part of today's show, and of course I mentioned that she lived in Nashville for a good number of years. Now, I know you also did. You want to tell us about it?
Music City. After much exhaustive touring with Rocking Horse, I made a pilgrimage type tour to Nashville, early 90s, I think. Actually, my friend Bernie Williams went with me. That very first trip. We did the starry-eyed touristy thing, obviously. Fanfare, tours, trips to halls of fame, Grand Ole Opry, Opryland, all that stuff. But we also, through my record label, got invites to stuff like visiting with Alabama, the band Alabama, at their June Jam in Fort Payne, Alabama, and a few backdoor entries to the biz. So I saw opportunities which I liked. I took a bit of a sabbatical from Rocking Horse, and after a few more Nashville trips, I decided to stay there a while. It ended up a number of years, mid-90s, and I ended up living there with my now ex-first wife and working there. I met a lot of very important people, big names, got to join the Nashville Songwriters Association, and of course the Tennessee Songwriters Association, and hang out with several big wigs and so on, as you can well believe. I also worked there as a resident singer twice weekly at a club for about 2 years, and I freelanced as a journalist for Nashville Scene, which was at the time Music City's biggest country and other music newspaper. I had a great time. I made a lifelong friend there, my buddy Dale, a Nashville songwriter. We still talk often, sometimes collab, as they like to do in Nashville. Yeah, well, I returned home after a number of years as I went through a messy divorce, which I'd rather not mention. But needless to say, I settled back in my beloved Cape Town, and I picked up from there.
You must have learned quite a bit from American songwriters. Not that I think you needed to learn anything, but I'm sure their writing style is probably a little different from the norm in South Africa.
Look, I learned a lot about songwriting from the pros in Tennessee, which I still apply to how I work today. I still have a lot of contact with a lot of people there. Another big buddy of mine, Bobby Craig, I still chat with him a lot. He used to be a bigwig at Arista Records and was instrumental in the successes of artists like Pam Tillis, Brooks and Dunn, and everyone's old favorite, Alan Jackson. Well, Bob's retired now, but we still speak quite often. I'm still a member of the NSAI and the TSAI, the two big songwriting factions in Nashville. The highlight of my stays in Nashville, though, have to be the fact that I got to play the Bluebird Cafe a few times to great reception, and because of it, inception into the Songwriters Guild of America, of which I'm quite proud.
I put on a little weight on, get myself a drink, have myself a long one, have a little think, listen to a man move, and get a looking back, get a little buzz on, put on a little weight on. Maybe some Christopherson, play with on my guitar, just me and Baba McGee and my mini ball. That silver-tongued dude and I, singing low and getting high. Get a little jam on, listen to Christopherson. Maybe get a little drunk on Willie and Cash. Billy Joe Shaver, my old stash. Jerry Jeff Walker and Townsend Sam. A little bit of Grammy and Emmylou, maybe the Hag and some Possum too, will help me forget about you. Put on a little wheel on, have myself a drink, have myself a long walk, have a little think. I'll listen to Amanda and get a looking back. Maybe get a little buzz on, put on a little weight on. Maybe get a little bump on Willie and Cash. Billy Joe Shaver, my old stash. But Jerry Jeff Walker, a Townsend Sam. A little bit of Grammy and Emmylou, maybe the Hag and some Possum too, will help me forget about you. Put on a little wheel and let it rain. Put on a little wheel on.
Tony, apart from the fact that you write novels, you sing, you play the guitar, you play the drums, you're also a record producer. You want to tell the audience about your studio in Melbourne Strand?
Yeah, well, my studio, which I call Art of Pop, is at my home in Melbourne Strand, virtually on the beach. I built a little studio for myself, actually, to do my demos, as it became too costly and time-consuming to go record my demos at other studios. I never envisaged recording anyone other than myself doing my demos, as I am not a sound engineer by any manner of means, and that part of the industry and the recording process actually is not my forte, and of no real interest to me. However, many industry people started saying, wow, my demo sounds so good, can't I record singers doing the songs in my studio myself, as they couldn't really do it any better. They just sort of loved the sound. So I reluctantly started recording some singers doing my songs, and which is now flippin' virtually mushroomed out of control. And I've been busy for the last 3 or 4 years churning out albums, which actually I really didn't want to do, but I must be thankful and grateful people still want to record with me. So anyway, another reason I want to break next year is I've been so busy in the flippin' studio that I've had almost no time at all to work on my writings, my books. So I'm hoping to lock the studio door for at least a while in 2016.
Well, I was going to ask you about 2016 and beyond. Tell us what's in store for both you and Rocking Horse.
Well, Rocking Horse, after 30 years, are enjoying being together and playing together now more than ever. So we are looking to go national as opposed to regional this past year. That is next year. So we welcome any offers to play outside of Cape Town. If anyone's listening, we're available. We aim to market our new album internationally. We've had some offers to perform overseas. Hopefully they come off in the new year. We already did a couple of sojourns earlier in the year. And as for Tony Ridgway, well, as I said, I hope to finish off a book or 3, have them published, keep living my comfortable and crazy life with my wonderful, beautiful wife, Melissa. We've had 12 wonderful years together now, and just keep on creating. I'm always a writer, songs, poems, stories, whatever, and I'll continue writing, singing, and loving life and see where all of that takes me.
When she gets there, she knows if the stores are all closed, with a word she can get what she came for. And she's buying a stairway to heaven. There's a sign on the wall, but she wants to be sure, 'cause you know sometimes words have two meanings. In a tree by the brook, there's a songbird who sings. Sometimes all of our thoughts are misgiven. Ooh, and it makes me wonder. Ooh, and it makes me wonder. There's a feeling I get when I look to the west, and my spirit is crying for leaving. In my thoughts I have seen rings of smoke through the trees, and the voices of those who stand looking. Ooh, and it makes me wonder. Ooh, it really makes me wonder. And it's whispered that soon, if we all call the tune, then the piper will lead us to reason. And a new day will dawn for those who stand long. Yeah, the forests will echo with laughter.
That was Stairway to Heaven by Tony Ridgway. Tony, what's your view on the current state of affairs when it comes to country music in South Africa?
Difficult one. Well, I'm surprised and somewhat happy that there now seems to be more country singers than singers of any other genre of music in SA presently. But honestly, Edwin, the quality of most is shocking, to say the least. I think we need to pull up our socks and release top-notch original music, more of it, instead of just putting voices to crappy backtracks downloaded and shared. Quality control is what is needed. Otherwise, country music will once again, become the laughing stock of this country. Having said that, however, there are some great new singers singing country music out there, but as I said, they should be a little more circumspect, choosy, classy, and make good recordings to go with their good voices. Country music shouldn't be a dumping ground for those who want to sing, but for those who really can.
Well, that's what Tony thinks. Sometimes he's controversial, but most times he's just being honest and speaks his mind, and that is what we love about Tony Ridgway. Tony, your favorite South African country artist. I'm now going to put you on the spot here, and I think I know what your answer is going to be. Let's stick to female.
Yeah, I think you know me too well, hey? I think there are some fine voices who don't necessarily sing country but should, and some that sing country but shouldn't. I think that singers like Cherie could have made it in Nashville with a bit of enterprise and push. She has a fine country voice made for traditional type country fare. So I would say she is my favorite country singer in South Africa, of course.
Of course, Tony, I knew your favorite, but I couldn't mention it. I needed you to say it. There is a brand new duet called Devotion and Desire, featuring, of course, Tony Ridgway and Cherie, and I believe that Radio Today will be the first station to ever play this number on air. Let's listen to Tony and Cherie with Devotion and Desire.
I've been crawling through the wilderness much too damn long. Never had a decent chorus to my unfinished song. I've been creeping along the shoreline, on the outside looking in. I got both feet in the water, even though I cannot swim. I'm not looking for a hero, I'm not looking for a friend, I'm not looking for a zero or a beginning to an end. I'm just looking for a lover to come and light my fire, to fill the hole in my heart up with devotion and desire. I've been living in the shadows, I've been phoning in the cold, watching days go by like water, getting crazy, getting old. I've been walking through the front line like a soldier with no soul, peering over my shoulder, well nigh out of control. I'm not looking for a hero, I'm not looking for a friend, I'm not looking for a zero or a beginning to an end. I'm just looking for a lover to come and light my fire, to fill the hole in my heart with devotion and desire.
Devotion and Desire. Beautiful number. Tony, thank you very much for allowing a Local is Lekker and Radio Today to be the first to air this number. Well, I think all that remains now is to thank you for your visit and your insight into the country music industry and your stories about Nashville, your songwriting, your studio, and Rocking Horse. Thank you very much for coming in.
Well, thanks again for having me, Edwin, and thanks again for all the wonderful support you've given me, Rocking Horse, and all the purveyors of my music and songs over the years. You are a true country gentleman, and I thank you endlessly. Much appreciated, my friend.
I want to meet Brad Paisley and shake the cowboy's hand. Maybe he'll let me sit in with his backing band. We can trade a lick or three, that West Virginia boy and me, out on the Grand Ole Opry. Me and Brad Paisley. Well, who needs pictures? It ain't the real thing. Time well wasted, according to Jim. Until he turned to cruise in fifth gear, let's start a new band and started writing here. I want to meet Brad Paisley and shake the cowboy's hand. Maybe he'll let me sit in with his backing band. We can trade a lick or three, yeah, that West Virginia boy and me, and on the Grand Ole Opry. Me and Brad Paisley. Oh yeah, you wanna go play like this? Oh, I don't wanna be a celebrity. That ain't anything like me. The alcohol, whiskey, lullabies. I'd rather drive around with mud on my tires. I wanna meet Brad Paisley and shake the cowboy's hand. Maybe he'll let me sit in with his backing band. We can trade a lake or three, that West Virginia boy and me, and on the Grand Ole Opry. Me and Brad Paisley, with him and me under those Opry lights. It'll be a big American Saturday night. I wanna meet Brad Paisley, shake that cowboy's hand. Maybe he'll let me sit in with his backing man. There we can trade a lake or three, that West Virginia boy and me, and on the Grand Ole Opry. Me and Brad Paisley, and on the Grand Ole Opry. Me and Brad Paisley, on the Grand Ole Opry. Me and Brad Paisley. Yeah, we could trade licks on the stage of the Ryman Auditorium. Oh yeah. It's good to know you, man.
That last number from Tony Ridgway was called Me and Brad Paisley. It looks like we're going to have to close out today's show. So what I'll do is I'll bring you two songs from our songstress from South Africa who lives in San Antonio, Texas. Her name is Lisette. Here she is with Leaning on My Mind and San Francisco Memories. Let's listen to Lisette.
You got leaving on your mind. Tell me now, get it got leaving on your mind, if there's a new love in your heart, tell me now, get it over. Hurt me now, get it over. If there's a new love in your heart, don't leave me here in a world filled with dreams that might have been. Hurt me now, get it over. I may learn to love again. If there's a new love in your heart, tell me now, get it over. Hurt me now, get it over. If there's a new love in your heart, hurt me now, get it over. If there's a new love in your heart. We walked along the shoreline while the city lights were dancing on the water. The Golden Gate reached out to touch the moon that was hanging in the sky. The clouds above the mountains with the silver puffs of moonlight cast a shadow. Against the rocks beneath our feet, as the salty air brought mist into our eyes. I've got a San Francisco memory. San Francisco's where I wanna be. In that city sleeping by the bay. San Francisco's where I wanna stay. I'm gonna love you till the day I die. Losing you would only make me cry. This feeling's burning deep inside of me. My San Francisco memory. Can't forget the feeling that went through me when you held me oh so gently. The warmness of your touch set me on fire like a fancy foreign wine. My knees began to tremble like a dying leaf in winter when you kissed me. Moved your hand upon my face, and your tenderness brought love into my mind. I got a San Francisco memory. San Francisco's where I wanna be. In that city sleeping by the bay. San Francisco's where I wanna stay. I'm gonna love you till the day I die. Losing you would only make me cry. This feeling's burning deep inside of me. My San Francisco memory. I got a San Francisco memory. San Francisco Francisco's where I wanna be. In that city sleeping.
There we go with Lizette, San Francisco Memories. My name is Edwin, and you've been listening to Local is Lekker on radio today. I hope you enjoyed today's music and the interview and music from Rocking Horse and Tony Ridgway. Until next week, keep well.
On the road again, I can wait to get on the road again. Well, I find love that's making music with my friends. I can wait to get on the road again. On the road again, going places that I've never been, seeing things that I might never see again. I can wait to get on.